Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are here with an updated Infernity 3-axis deck profile post Duelist Advance. As you all know, the new Mutiny and the Sky cards got released in Duelist Advance, and it also gave 3-axis a nice kind of buff, because Buoy is a level 3 monster, so that's really nice for Cherubini, of course, because 3-axis is Infernity getting to Archfiend via ways by using level 3 engines to get to Archfiend, and then mainly by using Cherubini. So Cherubini dumps Rhino Warrior, and then Rhino Warrior either dumps Archfiend, dumps Harris, or dump Stygian if you already have Archfiend access. But yeah, that basically, and the new Mutiny and Sky cards for sure are pretty great for 3-axis. However, 3-axis isn't really the best viable option right now for Infernity. Infernity really now in the competitive scene needs Fiendsmith, so this is a really cool deck variant to take to locals or for casual play. But for competitive wise, don't consider playing this at all at a higher event than the locals. Yeah, because Infernity right now really needs Fiendsmith in order to be competitive viable. But yeah, let's see. Hopefully support can change that and makes pure Infernity best variant. And Launcher 2-3 would also be nice. Of course, that we still would lose to the same things, but of course with 3 Launcher you can make even insaner Endboards. But yeah, where's Launcher 2-3, Konami? But yeah, without further ado, first shoutouts to the Infernity Discord. Be sure to join down in the link in the description. Also, the deck list is posted in the description in a link for Neuron, so be sure to click on that if you want to see the full deck list, or if you don't know some cards, so you can just click on them, so be sure to check the description for sure. But yeah, let's get into the deck profile. I've been getting many requests for this variant because it's still a really fan favorite variant, and it's one of my favorite variants for sure, because it's just so much fun and Cherubini is GOAT. But yeah, let's get into the profile. Starting off with the best cards of the deck, of course. We are playing for the Infernity cards, so we are playing double Archfiend, because we are already on 44 cards, and you easily access Archfiend via dumping it and via or adding it to your hand with Harris, so it's perfectly searchable. You can play a third copy for sure. We don't really have a normal summon in this deck. Sure, you can play Tour Guide, but I'll get in that in a second. But yeah, I'm currently playing 2 because 2 is basically all you need. But you can play 3 definitely. You can even just play 1, but I always like to play at least 2 then, because versus Bestials, still pretty nice, or top decking. But yeah, you can play a third if you want to. Right now I'm just playing the 2 because 2 is enough and it does the thing, and also sometimes you can break into multiples. Then we have one Patriarch of course for Dugares lines, and for sure almost every variant right now needs the Dugares extension, like always said. If you don't play Dugares or don't play Patriarch, don't play the other one, because not useful, but you should play them. So play Patriarch, play Dugares, really nice extenders. Then up we have one Necromancer. One Necromancer is all you need for your combos. Sure, you can run 2, but for your combos you really only need 1. So you're risking another brick if you play another one. 1 is all you need, basically. I would only play 2 in variants that run Duke of Demise, for example, or Proxy F Magician. But yeah, my bad. But yeah, for that, only play 1 of the good guy. And then next up we have one Sage, because we actually play Synchro plays in this extra deck. So yeah, that's why Sage. Yeah, if you're not on synchro lines, don't play Sage. Or you can, right now not in the extra deck is Pride Sprint, because we have Aerial Eater for the other dump for Archfiend, and you already have a lot of dumps, but Sage becomes even better if you play Pride Sprint with Sage, of course. So yeah, that right now we are just playing it for the tuner, of course. But yeah, you can play Sprite Sprint if you want to. I right now really didn't, when testing, didn't really need it, or it came up. You already have a lot of dumps. Then next up, Konami, please. This is the last time, hopefully, we will see only one launcher in a deck list. in the deck profile. Yeah, Konami, please bring it back to 3. Upcoming ban list, trust. And next up, we play Triple Reaper. Triple Reaper because this deck is based around reviving Archfiend, so you want to have a Reaper at 3 in this deck for sure. Also, if you open Infernity names, you can just summon them from your hand with Reaper. But yeah, it's mostly just if you open it, you know, it's still a nice way to revive Archfiend. It's a great card for sure. In these kind of variants, I would always play it at 3. Next up, we have, for traps, we have double barrier, 1 break. Don't, like I always say, don't ever play, if you're on 3 traps, don't ever play 3 barrier, because if your Infernity names get outed, you still have the form of interruption in the form of break. So yeah, that basically, you can also just play 2 barrier, then play 2 barrier, because 2 barrier is way more impactful. And if you play 3 traps, play this. I right now really like 3 traps in this, because you can easily get to 3 traps in this variant. And when you go second, I would always side out 2 traps and then just keep 1 barrier in it. Next up, for generic Fiend cards, so Honary Infernity names, I also always like to call them. 1 Stygian, 1 Rhino, 1 Harris. Yeah, of course, a Rhino, mostly you always should play Rhino in a variant that plays Cherubini, because, you know, Cherubini dump Rhino, then Rhino dump either this, or dump Stygian, or just dump Archfiend directly. But yeah, Rhino is one of the heart and soul of the Cherubini variants. So yeah, that Harris still pretty nice. You have it has nice synergy with Dangers also, so that's why I like this variant. Is likely one of the only variants where I like running Harris, because Harris is of course the biggest brick ever. But in this, it's really nice in combination with Dangers, which I like. And of course, Stygian, you can cut Harris, to be fair, if you don't like seeing Harris. But I really like sometimes to have Harris as a line, because some lines really need the Harris. But yeah, you should always play these 2, and this is optional, but I like it for some lines in 3 axes. And then, yeah, that basically. Then, one of the stars of the show, a great card, is Buoy, the Dawn's Light. Crazy card. It's a level 3, which makes it even better in this variant. Oh yeah, also of course 1 fusion spell. But yeah, it's crazy. If you negate a Fiend on your board to special summon this, monsters in your leftmost and rightmost monster zone cannot be destroyed by card effect, which is cool as protection. But yeah, mostly it's just a nice extender to have. And when it's sent to the graveyard, however, so you can also just dump it with Cherubini and then just search the fusion spell, which is also pretty great. Yeah, this card is insane. Now I want to talk about why not Tour Guide in this deck. This deck's already pretty big. You can play Tour Guide if you want to, but like I like to have in 3 axes, like not a real normal summon, because sometimes you just brick in too many monsters in this variant. So that's why I like to have no normal summon, so you can just have whatever as normal summon. Also, it makes Ash viable in this deck then, because if you open Ash going first and they don't have Charmy, you can just use Ash as your normal summon. So yeah, that's why you can play Tour Guide for sure. If you want to play Tour Guide, play Tour Guide. I just really like in 3 axes not having a real normal summon, so you can just summon on clock some bricks if you have bricks, and otherwise, you know, it's always nice than to save your normal summon for Necromancer, you know. This is crazy at 3 for sure. You have a lot of Fiends in the extra deck, which can make this come out of hand. Or, of course, after you resolved Archfiend, then... no, my bad. I mean, if you have an Infernity name on your board, that's... for example, you needed to normal summon Archfiend, for example, because your hand was too big. You can just special summon this. And then just have 2 bodies for link climbing, which is really nice. And yeah, for the rest, it's a level 3 monster. And the fusion spell is of course perfectly searchable. Don't play that ever at more than 1. Yeah, generic spells are World Legacy Succession, Monster Reborn, and Foolish. Monster Reborn and Foolish are pretty standard, you know, you want to have them. And Succession is of course searchable with IP, which you make IP with Sage and Necromancer, of course, or just Sage plus any level 3 monster in your deck, which you have a lot of. Then we have Double Void Apocalypse. In these kind of variants, like the only real variants where I like playing Apocalypse, because, you know, this is kind of pure, you know, you want then Void Apocalypse is pretty great. But like if you're playing more, you know, more engines, for example, like in Fiends with variants, I don't really like it because it's basically just a -1 if it gets ashed. But then these kind of variants, because these are purer variants, I like Void Apocalypse. I will never play this at 3, except if it's at 60 cards, because I hate opening multiple copies of this in my hand. Then next up, Dangers. Dangers are insane, crazy level 3s. I love them for sure. We are playing 3 Noko and 3 Jack. Also, they are pretty nice to unclock bricks from your hand, you know. And they're just free specials. They're always live. They do play into draw, which sucks, but this entire variant does. That's why it's more for a casual variant, because everyone is playing draw right now. Of course, we are playing Salesman and stuff for anti-draw, but you know, 3-axis is just a variant for fun, casual local play. But yeah, Dangers are pretty nice. I really love them, always in 3-axis, and they are level 3, of course. I wouldn't play any other Dangers, just play these. Next up, also crazy cards, are triple Speedroid Terrortop and 1 Takatomborg. Just basically, without normal summon, you already have 2 level 3 bodies on your field. You want to see Terrortop. Yeah, crazy cards. And if you open multiple, you can just normal summon the other one, or get rid of it with Void Apocalypse or with Dangers, for example. Then for the non-engine, we are playing, like already spoiled, Double Ash. You can also play 3 if you want to. Sometimes I see multiple already and then I think, it's mid. But like this is mostly versus Charmies. And of course they are great, of course, as hand traps in general. But mostly versus Charmies, because Charmies and Draw are the biggest enemies of this variant. Of course, of almost every variant, but this variant particular. So that's why I like to have no real normal summon in the deck, because then you can basically run Ash Blossom, because then you can use it as your normal summon. And it's a level 3, of course, so it's not a dead body at all. Next up, like spoiled already, triple Salesman. In every variant you should play this at 3 in main or side, but in this variant, play it at 3 in main for sure, because like, you know, like said, draw. Also sometimes nip, you have a nip out in your side deck, but sometimes, you know, you cannot really save your launcher or reaper for the rest of the turn till you make Arms of Genex. So that's why Salesman for sure also is really nice versus nip in this case. Then we have one talent. Talent is talent, same with called by, just always play these. And then of course triple Imperm as one of our best hand traps, of course, and just great small board breaker, of course. Then for the extra deck, we are playing 1 Cherry Beanie, of course. This is the heart and soul of 3-axis. You should always play these. 2 level 3 monsters make Cherry Beanie dump, then Rhino Warrior or Buoy even, or whatever you're missing, and then Rhino can dump the rest, whatever, you know. But yeah, great card. Always play it in 3-axis variants. Next up, you have 1 Aerial Eater, because of Mutiny in the Sky. You can also play Loose instead, but I like Aerial Eater's always live with the Mutiny engine, of course, so that's why Aerial Eater. Then we have Synchro Package is Arms of Genex, Diabel, and Ip. Ip you make mostly with Sage Necromancer, make Ip, Search, Succession, then you have Succession again, you know, then Succession for Necromancer, Necromancer for Archfiend, Search, then with Necromancer and Ip you make Diabel Effect, add Launcher back, which is crazy, extension, and just to end on even bigger boards. And then with Sage and Diabel you make Arms of Genex, and Arms of Genex is a negate for every attribute in your graveyard. So you already have light, so that's versus Nibiru. But like, you almost play every, you play every attribute except Divine, of course, in this variant. So you have a negate for every attribute, basically. Oh no, not the Egyptian God matchup. No, I mean. So yeah, that basically. Arms of Genex, pretty great endboard card for sure. You can also play Zapper Shrimp Chaos Angel instead, so in your opponent's turn effect. Summon Zapper Shrimp, then Zapper Shrimp can send a spell or trap from your opponent's field to the graveyard, then quick Synchro into Chaos Angel, banish a card. But Arms of Genex is better in my opinion, because you need a nip out. and it's just crazy funny to make. Next up, one Dugares. If you play Patriarch, play Dugares and this variant, and almost every variant really needs those as extenders. Next up is Allied Code Talker. Allied Code Talker is great in Pure variants because you actually have the extra deck space. It's a great endboard piece. It's an Omni Negate. Mostly you just tribute a bow then under it because a bow banish itself, summon back. And then you can tribute it with Allied Code Talker as a negate or whichever link is under it or next to it, you know. Yeah, always play these in these kind of variants because you have the extra deck space. Never ever play this in Fiendsmith variants because you already make a great endboard and you really want to have a viable option, and this really never comes up then. But yeah, for this, great endboard piece. Then we have, like spoilered, a bow. A bow is a bow. Extender. It's Saryuja and Zealantis in one. You can also play Saryuja Zealantis, but I like to have the extra deck space, and Abao is basically those cards in the same. And also, like, Zealantis is funny for sure, but like, you know, the Abao can add the extra launcher back if you need the extra extension, you know. But you can play Zealantis, Saryuja for sure. Next up, Crossheap. Crossheap is just an Archfiend Revive or Necromancer, you know, whatever, in combination with Aerial Eater, of course. Then we have Yama and Super Producer. You can also play Sharvara and main and then Rage Yama. And then you can play actually Caesar in your deck, because then you can make Caesar with Sharvara and with Sharvara and Aerial Eater, because those are 2 level 6s. So you can play Caesar in this variant. I just wanted to really play the Synchro package, so then I would rather play these 2 together. But yeah, in Fiendsmith variants, you always play Yama, Sharvara, Rage, but here it's really like what you really like more. So yeah, that basically, and I really wanted to play these 2 together again. And for 3 axes, that's just perfect. Next up, we have SP and then also IP. IP for endboard, and then your opponent's turn, you make SP. And if you play Rage, you don't play IP anymore, of course. Not needed at all then. But yeah, that basically, and just SP in general, great going second card. Always play that. And then for the last 2 cards are actually a funny tech I like using currently. It's Moon of the Closed Heaven with Underworld Goddess. Moon is just a generic link too, so for first turn it's just link climbing. But in your going second, Moon effect, they will suspect you play Fiendsmith because you play this, and then you actually use it to link 2 monsters off. Also, it's funny versus Luna Light. No, this not because you cannot target Liger Dancer, but this is because you can just link it off. But yeah, that basically, I just like having these as going second cards, and this is just a generic link to link line, but these 2 can be whatever you want. I just really find this really funny, and it's actually really came up a lot when testing, and of course I'll showcase while doing test times, of course. That was it for the extra deck. Let's get into the side deck. For the side deck, we are playing triple Artifact Lancia. Because Malice, of course, and it's just a hand trap we can set, so no worries in hard opening this. I always also side this going, if I go first versus Malice, for example, if they have Charmies, you still have Lancia, you know. Yeah, Lancia is a must play as long as Malice is here still. Next up is Double Trust. You can also play 3. But like, yeah, you can just search which whatever you want, either a breaker or, you know, an extender or just an engine piece for a spell, you know. Monster Reborn or Foolish Burial can be searched with this, or for example Reaper. Yeah, whatever you like, you can search with Trust. Always side it in going first and going second for sure. Next up we have Lightning Storm as a great board breaker, and Duster, both searchable with Trust also, of course. But yeah, great going second, and this just in general, like, a lot of decks are setting back row right now. And then we have triple Droplet. You can also play Dark Ruler No More. Found Droplet way more effective because you can sometimes like send bricks from your hand to graveyard if you have bricks, you know, not that this variant bricks a lot. But yeah, that, and just in general, if they charm you, you still have Droplet in their opponent's turn, so it's because it's a quick play, of course. Then we have one Mischief of the Gnomes is just a trust target, but this is basically what your locals is playing. My locals is filled with Mitsu Raizio players, so this is actually pretty great versus them. But if your locals has Vanquish Soul, play Mutiny, Assured Destruction. If your locals is full of Malice, play Artifact Sanctum. If your locals is full of Fiendsmith variants, play different dimension ground, you know, so this can be with other trap you like more. That is searchable with trust. And lastly, we have Solemn as a great going first card in general. Great if you get Charmed, you know, you still have Strike. Strike is just great, but this can be Warning or Judgment, whichever you like best. But yeah, that was it for the deck profile. Thank you all so much for watching again. It really means a lot on how many support I've been getting. Yeah, test and video will come. Also, next week I am going to Berlin for EUWCQ, of course. Not that I have my invite, but for side events and to cheer on my friends. So let me know if you'll also be there, because I will gladly meet you all, of course. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed all the deck profile. If you have a question, let me know in the comments. But yeah, of course, if you liked it, consider to subscribe, of course, if you love Infernity, and like if you like what you're seeing, of course. The deck list is in the description via Neuron, and of course also a link to the Infernity Discord. Yeah, next video will probably after the weekend, because the weekend's kind of busy for me. So probably either Monday or Tuesday I'll make a video, of course, probably test hands with this, and then hopefully we will have a ban list at the end of the week, so at EUWCQ or after, which would be nice, you know. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the deck profile. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for the support. Infernity best deck, Infernity for life. Thank you all so much again.